after each boss you defeat, one of the locks on this main tent door comes off, and once you go through all 3 levels and bosses, you can go into this tent and face the final boss. So for total subrooms, we had the office subroom, the train ride subroom, this hub subroom, there's the 3 level subrooms, the 3 bosses subrooms, a subroom leading up to the final boss and the actual final boss subroom, the credits subroom, and the main lobby subroom. So you can start to maybe see how this was a lot of work to get done in the 3 or 4 weeks we had before the contest ended. We were making pretty decent progress on finishing the room for the first half of the contest, but some of our team members weren't really showing up as much, which made it pretty hard. And then for the second half of the contest, one of our team members just completely vanished, along with a couple others not being able to be on as much. So for the last week or 2 of the contest, we were really crunching to get things done. Like, every single hour of my free time was spent in here working on circuits. Just to give you some perspective, for the last week of the contest, I had something that started every morning around 7 and went until noon. So I would get home from my thing around 12, and then I would literally spend the entire rest of the day until 3 or 4 a.m. working on this room. And then I'd go to bed, and I'd only get around 3 or 4 hours of sleep, and I'd have to wake up at 7 and do my thing again, and then I'd get home, and the process would repeat. And as a result of the hard work of some of our team members, we ended up publishing on time, and I think this is a really sick quest. If you haven't played it yet, I would highly recommend you grab 2 friends and do so. There are unique mechanics in every single level, and then you use that mechanic to defeat the boss for that level, and then the mechanics all come together for the final boss, and then the final boss uses some absolutely insane inverse kinematic stuff. You have to see it for yourself. This is, I still think, the craziest thing in Rec Room. Shoutouts to Nameless for making this. There are a few design and gameplay problems. Trust me, I know about them, but as an overall package, I was really proud of what we were able to create here. So, was it worth it? How did we place in the contest? The quest category this time around had a ton of really good entries, so I wasn't really expecting to get first or anything, but I was hoping for top 3, and I knew we could at least get top 5. So the contest results come out, and we didn't even get top 5. Like, the minimum thing I expected. We didn't even get top 5. We did get top 10, which sounds nice until you remember that top 10 is literally just based on engagement and not quality at all. So all you have to do to get top 10 is have a decent room and promote it well. I put everything I had into this room, and we didn't even get top 5, and I was so sad. This is traumatic right here. We got nothing. Nothing.
You've seen the movies. Now it's time to live them out with the roller coaster you've been waiting for. Introducing Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift, the high-speed roller coaster with all the blockbuster thrills you love. Opening this summer at Universal Studios Hollywood.
It's taking me back. I don't mean to be rude to any of the quest rooms that did get top 5, but looking at some of them, we definitely did deserve top 5, and I will stand by that opinion until I die. And when we asked for feedback from the judges on why we didn't get top 5, it was just the stupidest reasons ever, guys. I don't want to go into it too much, but it was just absurd. The actual moral of the story here is don't do contests. Worst decision of my life. The next room I worked on was bumper buggies, which due to a Rec Room bug, I actually can't join without crashing right now, so for the A roll, we're gonna have to settle with Rec Rally instead. Bumper buggies is basically extreme bumper cars. There's custom bumping physics so that when you hit other cars based on your speed, you get bumped back. There's boosts placed around the platform, and as time goes on, the platform becomes smaller and smaller, and the goal is to be the last one alive. Players who are dead or joined mid-match can pick up these snipers along the side of spawn and try and shoot at the drivers. And if they get hit, they get flung really far, and we thought this was a really fun idea for players who are dead to kind of stay in the game instead of just needing to wait for the next round. We made this game because around this time, Ink Overflow wanted to start making some smaller rooms so we could put stuff out faster, and Rec Rally had just come out, so we wanted to use the buggy somehow. I did about half of the circuits for this room, and if you've been there, you'll also know that my voice is the announcer voice in the room. It's really weird if I go in there to play it myself, because I'll see someone like snipe someone, and then suddenly I'll hear my own voice go, "Oh my gosh, what a shot!" I think this room's just the definition of simple but fun to come back to, and I'm pretty proud of it. My next room was Grapple Hook Parkour, which, again, the title of these rooms are pretty self-explanatory for what the room is. Similar to bumper buggies, a new thing had just come out, this time being the trigger handle, and we wanted to make a small room to do something cool with it. So we decided to make grapple hooks, and then the idea for this room is that there's this sort of Mario 64 non-linearity with all of these star bits strewn around the map, and it's just sort of up to you to go out and explore and have fun using the grapple hooks to try and get all the star bits you can. This main area you'll see behind me has a ton of blocks and stuff to swing off of, so it's pretty easy to navigate around, but near the edges of the map, there's some star bits with more linear challenges to get to them that are made to be more difficult. There's also a sort of leaderboard speedrun thing built in where you can press a button that lets you speed speedrun 5, 10, or all of the star bits at once. And then you just gotta collect that amount of star bits as fast as you can in whatever way you want to try and get to the top of the leaderboard with your time. I think I did pretty much all of the circuits in this room except for the actual grapple hook physics, so that would be all the speedrun stuff and the star bit collection. Honestly, this room is one of my favorites that I've worked on. It's just so much fun to come in here and swing around on random things with the grapple hook and pick up random star bits. It's also just super accessible to everybody. If I had to pick one room from this video for you to check out, I would probably pick this one. I haven't really been mentioning visits for these rooms, but I'm glad that this one ended up being pretty popular. Next room I worked on was Sanctum of Solitude, and this one's gonna be real quick. This was a submission for the Stranded contest in the art category, and as you might be able to guess, being an art room, it has basically no circuits. So I did very minimal circuits work in this room just to get some things working. The actual work and time I put into it was not very much. The idea of the room is that you just kind of start in this little fishing village, and then you go on this boat ride, and then you get hit by a boulder, and then, oh my gosh, you end up at this crazy temple in